Hello, hello. How is everybody? Hope everybody's well. Thanks for joining us on this Friday evening. It's not quite Halloween, but I've got Bones with me. My brother popped in to say hello. So tonight we have a special guest. Well, not a special guest. It's my favourite airworm. It's my wife, Nikki. She's decided to come in tonight, and she's in the corner workshop. She won't come in front of the camera, but she's hiding in the corner of the workshop. So she'll say hi.
Hello.
So it's myself and Nick, and like we said before, there's no turning project. It's something totally different. I've been having I'm not having a play of the CNC. I've been using the CNC for quite a while, but quite a few people have been asking about the CNC. So I thought I'd take this opportunity because I was waiting for the motor to come back or for the lathe. Hopefully that's sorted. But I didn't want to rush around getting a project ready for tonight, so I thought I'd have a play with the CNC and try to show you guys what's entailed into getting an image from the internet to a finished piece like this. So this is what we're going to be making. This is a family tree. Nick wanted one of these making, so we got the image off the internet, programmed the CNC to cut it. It's made in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different pieces. So I've got the laser engraver running now. I'll just quickly show you that. We've got it printing off. That might not be finished before we finish, but I've got that printing off some of the bits that we need for this. So that may not be finished before we end the live. But what I'll do at the end of the live, once that's done, I'll put some pictures up on social media to show it all finished. So we should end up with something like this. So what I'm going to do is, obviously, I want to show you guys roughly how we get the image from the internet. Actually, before we start that, let's go through the chat and say hello, because we've got loads of people in the chat, and I haven't even said hello to any of them, and I do apologise for that. I don't know if you saw the intro at the beginning. Myself and some of the guys are going to do a bit of a game showy thing, pub quizzy thing, a bit of fun. We're going to do the first trial, or we're going to do a trial on the 13th of November. So put that in your diary. That's 2 weeks today, I believe. So we're going to give that a bit of a bash. It's just fun. The team names and the teams are on the intro. What I'll do is I'll play the intro again at the end, so you guys can have a see what's going on, and hopefully it should be a bit of good entertainment. So I'm streaming on YouTube and Facebook. So I don't know if people in Facebook are seeing this. I've got no comments coming up at Facebook at the moment, so if you pop over onto Facebook and see me there, drop us a comment so we know that we're actually live on Facebook as well. So we had, as always, Colin is in first. Donna McKee, hi Donna. Doug Miller, hi Doug. Jennifer Stroughton. Even everyone, I have come to see if I can learn anything, as we have a CNC engraving machine. Well, hopefully, Jennifer, this if you're a beginner, it takes a little bit getting your head around. But obviously, once you get your head around it, it's fine. Scott the Blue Light Turner, hi Scott, hope you're well. Mole Valley, Dave, hi Dave. Mark Pritchard, hi Mark, I hope you're feeling much better. Robert Nye, hi Robert. Wayne, hi Wayne, how you doing, sir? Gentleman Wood Turner Mark, hi Mark, hope you're okay. Lewis the Klondike Craftsman, hi Lewis. What else have we got? Let's have a look here. Ian Leonard, hi Ian, hope you're well. Simon Rourke, hi Simon, hope you are well. Yeah, it does seem like it's been a long while, Simon, since you was last in one. Where we got to Ian. Joe Senior, hi Joe, hope you're well. There you got your Sophie at Joe. Malcolm Douglas, hi Malcolm. Herb Huber, hi Herb, hope you're well. Let's have a look. So these are all on on YouTube, all these people. So then what we'll do is we'll go and say hello to the people on YouTube, Facebook. So Ian from IDR Woodturner, hope you're well. Andrew from Wyvern Woodshed, hi Andrew. Robert from Hodgepodge, hi Robert. John S, hi John. Ellie Two Meadows, hi Ellie. Man, there's loads of you. God, you lot can talk. Jennifer Stroughton, I said hello to Jennifer. So Robert Doug Woods, Steve, hi Steve.
Don McKee.
Don McKee, yeah, I've said Don. Let's have a look. I'm trying to get to the bottom. They can talk, that's for certain.
460.
You ain't got that far. Keith from Circular Woods. Hi, Keith. Door 60, I believe that's... What's that?
Andy.
Andy. Hi, Andy. I think that is about there. Oh, Hugh. Hi, Hugh. How are you, sir? So then on what we have...
Chisky. Patrick from Chisky Wood Creations is on.
Right, you're quicker than me, so you're going to have to...
Oh, sorry, you can't help
It's all right.
It's your age.
Yeah. Douglas. Hi, Douglas. So on Facebook, we have Dave Caswell, Sandy Leonard, Marlene Guy. Hi, Marlene. How are you? So, let's get on with it now.
John S asked, what's a CNC machine? What's a CNC?
Right, John, a CNC machine is... What I'm going to do is I'm just going to play this little video. This will go through some of the basics. Oh, hiya, Glyn. Sorry, Matt, I didn't see you. Sorry, Glyn. A CNC basically is a router, but you control it by a computer. So it's basically gives you intricate cuts like this by machine rather than doing it by hand. You could do this on a scroll saw, but I want to do it on the CNC just because...
You're lazy.
Yeah, I'm lazy, and you can. Hi, Krisky and Barry. Hi, Barry. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly play this video.
Dad's on.
Hi, Dad. How you doing? And this will explain to you guys how you go from getting an image off the internet to getting it ready to run on the CNC. And then once we've got that far, I will then come back and I'll show you the parts that have been cut out. And then we'll start assembling them, hopefully. If there's any questions, then we'll answer the questions when we come back after the short video, if that's okay. So this is a short video I put together just so it explains the process you have to do before you get to cutting out. So hopefully it's good. So what I'll try and do quickly is just show you how I get an image from the internet to a cuttable pattern for the CNC. So I use 3 pieces of software. First part is called Inchcape, which is editing software. Then you go to a piece of software called Carbide Create, which is this one, which is a piece of software that converts your image into a toolpath and G-code for your CNC. And then you use a third piece of software called GRBL Control, Candle. And this is the software that came with the CNC machine. It's not the best software in the world. It's very basic, but it gets the job done. I'm looking into getting other software, but at the moment this is the piece that I use. Now this is the piece of software that actually tells the CNC what to do. So after you've picked your image from the internet, whatever image it may be, obviously it doesn't want to be too high tech. It wants to try and be a JPEG or a PNG, PNG file. Obviously, the less colors and that, the better. More outlines and colors, but you can play around and get the bits. So it just takes more time to get it to a format that you can use. So I import my image that I've saved. So I've saved the family tree. Now I'm just going to show you quickly how I convert that into what they call a bitmap image. Bear in mind that this machine is not very quick. This is I'm running off the laptop in the workshop, and it's not the quickest machine in the world, but I normally do this in the house. But I want to just show you guys roughly what I do. So once I've got my image, we bring it in place, we rough size it to what we want, then we go up to path, and this is where we find our icon that we need, a piece that we need called trace bitmap. So you click on there, and what that'll do is that will now trace that to give us an image that we can transfer over into Carbide Create to create our cut paths. So I normally go edge detection because we're only looking for the outline. Unless you've got a piece with a lot of detail on it, you only really want the outline. I'm going to knock all these up to high because obviously the higher they are, the better quality we're going to get. So that one I'm going to put up to just below 1 because it only goes up to 1. But if you go up to 1 or the 1000, it will go black. This one I'm going to take up to 200. And these I'm going to take up to their maximum to give me the best quality picture that we can get. I think this one goes up to 5. So now we're going to update. Now that's give us our outline of our tree. So we're now going to go OK on there. Now what that'll do is that now print that over so we can close that. Now what we need to do is just drag the image off of that. Now this is our image we're going to use, so we don't need this one, so we're going to delete this one. And we're going to bring this one back over to here. And now we're going to save that. So save as, then you save it as whatever image you want to save it as. I'm going to do that as drawn free, but I've already saved it, so I'm not going to worry about it. And then that is it with that piece of software. We don't need that no more. So we close that down. Now what we've got to go do is go to a piece of software called Carbide Create. Now this is the piece of software that we're going to use to generate our tool cut and paths for our CNC. So we're going to import our picture. So I've already got a picture that I've already played with because there was a little bit sort of change to it. So we're going to import that. So there it is. There's our picture. This is the size it is at the moment. So we're going to click done, and then I'm going to resize that because this is a bit. Oh, not that one. I don't want that one. I'm going to resize that because it's too big to what I want. So I want to go about 250 wide, but it's too high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop that down a little bit to 240. And as you can see, they've both altered together because it's kept them into ratio, which is not a problem. It's not an issue. Obviously, as long as you've got the sizes as you want. But that is now our image. So we've got our image imported. So what we need to do now is set our toolpath. So this in this section on toolpath, it now gives you a choice. Once you click on your image, gives you a choice of different selection you want. But because we're just going to cut it on the outside, we're going to go to contour. So now we need to pick our tooling. So what I'm using for this is because it's quite an intricate piece in some of these areas here. There's not a lot of space in some of these areas. There's not a lot of space because we're going to cut on the outside. So when I do that, you'll see that it's missing some of the areas in here where the tool's too big to get in. So with this, we're using this is automatically goes as a default to a 1/8 bit, which is around about 3.75 millimeters. So what we want to change that to is we want to change that to a smaller piece. So we're going to go to end mill, I'm going to use this 132 piece. The reason being that's the smallest piece, and that will get all nice and tight in these grooves. So it gives you your depth per passes, feed rates and everything else. They're normally not far off of what the machine can cope with. Obviously you need to decide what you're going to do on your machine, so you need to alter those. So now you can see that the actual blue line, if you look there, the blue line now is on the outside of the actual image, and with the 132 piece, it will actually cut the right thickness that we want. I mean, we could try a 1/16, but I think we would lose some of that detail to go in there. I don't know if that would go into there. No, as you can see there, that little tiny gap there, we've lost it. So we definitely need the 132, which works out around about 0.8 of a millimeter, I believe, is 132. So we've got our 132 piece. Now what we need to do is tell it, you can set up, so when you do your image, you can set up the stock piece. So the piece you're going onto is the thickness of your materials, this, that, and the other. But what I just adjust it in here. It's a lot easier. So the piece of material we're going to is 3 millimeters. So I want to go a little bit through that. So I'm going to go through 3.25 millimeters. So that's the depth of the material we're going to cut through. Now you can just name it. We'll just name this family tree. And then OK it. So that's now telling us there it's going to take around about 45 minutes to cut that one tree out, which I suppose is taking quite a while. But what it's doing is it's only doing one pass at 0.381 millimeters at a time. So it's going to take around about 6 passes to get all the way through our material. So it's going to take its time. So 45 minutes to do that. So what I normally do now is we'll save this. So I've already got family tree there, but that's another family tree. So I'm going to call this family tree 2. So we've saved that. Now that's saved it in the Carbide Create file. So what we need to do now is save it as a G code for our CNC machine to read. So we're going to call this one family tree 2 again. And I do this because then I know that they all correspond with each other. So now that in the Carbide Create is all sorted. So what we need to do now is go over to our software for our CNC. And like I say, it's a piece of software called GRBL Control Candle. Now this is what comes with the 3018 Pro CNC machines. Like I say, it's not the best piece of software in the world, but it is pretty good. It does what you ask it to do, but it's not very, there's not a lot of stuff that you can alter on it. So, you know, I mean, I am looking for other stuff, but we'll see what happens. So we need to open this file. So designs, family tree 2. I've got family tree 21, but family 2, we know which one it is. So we're going to open that. Now that'll bring us up our family tree file. So what we need to do now is we need to go over to the CNC and set the CNC up ready to take our image. So I'll move over to the CNC and I'll catch you on the other side. So now we've got our piece stuck down, we're going to have to set up our tool to the height of our bed. Now because I have a little bit of variance between this corner and this back corner, around about 1/4 millimeter, but for some reason I just can't eliminate it. It might be a difference in the wood that I'm using as my waste piece, but I just can't go. So what I have to do is I have to set my tool post up to the middle of my board. So I'm going to use the machine to move over to roughly the middle of our board, and then what we'll do is we will set the tool height. And what we have to set the tool height, because if we don't, the machine doesn't know where the piece of wood start or the piece of cutting material starts, and that could be a little bit of an issue on knowing how deep it's got to go. and where it's got to start. So what we're going to do is we're going to move that down. Now the way, I know it's not a very technical way, but the way you're supposed to set this up is by using a piece of paper, and you want it so you can just feel friction on your piece of paper when you're doing it. So we're going to lower that down. So just before the piece of paper, and then we're going to just keep lowering it until we feel a little bit of friction. But be careful not to lean on your table, because obviously your table may have a little bit of movement in it. Right, so if I go one more, it bites on the paper, so we're just going to take it back. Now I'm lowering this down by 0.1 of a millimetre, so that is just binding off of that. So I'm going to leave that at that. So I'm going to reset my machine to say that's my 0 point. We're going to bring that tool back up out of the way. We're going to send this to home. Now that's the table all set up, and we are now ready to start our cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in, so let's just bring you back over to what we're going to do. Right, so now we've got that set, we're going to come over to our software and we're going to bring back in the image we wanted, which is that one. Now that's telling us that this is our start point. This point here is our start of cut, and it's going to do the passes around all the way around until it's done. Saying here it should take 36 minutes to cut. So what I'm going to do is turn the motor on and send it over, and away she should go. Right, I just hope you're still all awake after that. So I hope that sort of explains roughly how you get from your image, your stock image, what you get from the internet, to the CNC. If there's any questions, then message me. I mean, it sounds complicated, but once you do it a few times, you just get used to it. So I was right as that was playing. I was reading through the chat, and there's a few questions came up. So John S asked what model of CNC it is. The actual CNC started off life as a 3018 Pro. I bought it as a standard size. Well, I've got one for a laser engraver. So this one is actually a 3018 Pro, which I just keep for laser engraving. Now that gives you a bed size of 300 millimeters wide by 180 mil deep. So it's not a huge bed, but it's big enough to do most things. So what I did is, because I really like how that machine works, and it's so simple and it's cost effective. I think for one with just the engraving head, it's about £150, or it was when I bought it. So it started off life as a 3018 Pro. So what I did is I bought some aluminium intrusion to extend the bed. I bought longer sidebars to extend the sidebars, and then I bought new linear rails and new worm screw, a new head, and really there's nothing left of the original 3018 1.8 Pro now. I've upgraded everything. I've put bigger motor on it. I've put C-beam sections for the gantry running gears up and down, and the the X axis. So I've changed virtually everything. But the reason I did that was because I wanted to learn how to build a CNC for when I get the space. I want to build a bigger one. So that was what it started off as. John then asked for motor power. The original motor, I believe, is around about 150 watts, which comes with the 3018 Pro. The one I've got on it now is a 500 watt motor, so it's much better. You can get up to a half-inch bit in it, so you can cut bigger stuff, and the head comes with all different collars, so you can put bits from 0.5 mil right up to 1/2 inch or 12.5 mil. So you've got a whole range of bits you can use on it as well now. With the modification that I've done to the machine, like I say, it comes 300 mil wide, 180 mil deep. I have now got the capacity of 300 mil wide by 650 mil long, which gives me a massive scope to do door plaques, signs, and all sorts. That's the reason why I built the machine in the first place. So if there's no more questions, what's the cheapest CNC? I don't know about the cheapest, but I bought the 3018 Pro. The reason being is because they've got such good reviews. Yes, okay, the Chinese imports or Japanese or Middle East imports. Some of the bearings are not the best, but to be honest, you can replace the bearings for a few quid. If you spend the time setting the machine up when you get the machine, setting the bed level, making sure the frame's square. If you really spend the time squaring it up and setting it right, you have a really good piece of kit. It comes with laser engraving software, and it also comes with the software I still use for the CNC is the software that come with it. I'm looking to get a better software because it's a very simple piece of software, but it does the job. So I would go for the 3018 Pro because it's cheap and the parts are easy to get hold of, and also it's a great learning machine.
So it's no other questions.
I'm looking. Any chance you could go back to the beginning? Oh, lost me. No, it's not that bad, Barry. Well, like I say, once you do it a few times, it's pretty easy. Steve, you should design and cut holders for a vacuum on the CNC. I don't know what vacuum. I don't understand what that bit means. Anyway, I wonder how long it could take Dale to do that. To be honest, the CNC is not the quickest, but it's much more. If you wanted that 100 times, it would do exactly the same 100 times. That's the good thing with a CNC. Once you've spent the time doing the software, like that program I showed on there that I've done now, if I wanted that 100 more times, that will knock that out exactly the same time after time after time. That's the good thing about a CNC. It's very repeatable. So what we got here? Nothing else, I think. Nikki's over there shaking her head, and Steve's, yeah, you're right there. She's going, oh my god. Right. Okay, so what we'll do is,
the keys?
now we've got the bore and bear out of the way, I've got all the parts over there to make one of these, other than the family and the hearts. What do you
Keys.
want? So what I'm going to do is, obviously I've made this in separate pieces, so we're going to go over and put these together, and hopefully these will be finished before the end. Let's have a look how far they are at the moment. So no, they're only now doing the second heart, so they may not be ready, but like I said, what I'll do is I will, once they're all finished, I'll get a photograph of them and get them up on social media. So let's get this over to the bench. Nick will come over this side because she don't want to be on camera because she don't feel famous enough. So what we'll do is we'll swap and I'll meet you guys over at the bench. Oh look, Nick's hand.
That camera's not very good. That's ever so blurry on there.
Yeah, but that's my phone, not the... Right, so what we got, is that a better light? Oh look, is that a better light with that on?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
So let's keep an eye on this. Right, so let's just moan bones out of the way. So these are my pieces. These are the bases. So we'll get this one done first. Now I've done this in 3 levels, basically because I see these, or Nick was looking at these on the internet, and they came with a base that looked like that. So I thought I would just design these. Well, I just went quickly on a piece of software called Lightscribe, which is another piece of software which I use for the CNC. The laser engraver, and because it's got a designing program with it, so you can design all different shapes. So I just quickly knocked these up, and then what I did is I reduced them by I can't remember, it's 5 or 10 mil. So just so you get that stepping look. So what I'm going to do is just put a thin bead around. I'm just going to glue these together quickly, if my super glue is not clogged up. So I've got to find something to clear that now. So just try and clear this out. Not like that.
All this equipment and you've got no decent glue.
I've got decent glue, it's just that it's bunged up. Right, so we'll try this one. So I'm just going to put a little, don't need loads of this on, just enough to hold it together. If you put loads on, it comes out the side. So
Huey just said, did Steve just say, these are my pizzas? And these are the bases. Damn it, I need a pineapple and ham pizza now. Douglas said he just had a look and it's £198.
all right, it's gone up a little bit then. But is it good? Is that with the laser or is that just a CNC? Because you can buy it with a laser. The first one I bought was with a 5.5 watt laser.
You didn't think you was going to get on with them, to be honest, did you?
No, that's why I just bought
cheap and
yeah,
to have a play with.
but
Don has got a question. He said, could you use this to engrave metal discs, as in makers discs for bowls?
yeah, I can't see why not. You can cut. You can use it to cut metal. It'll cut aluminium. It'll cut. It depends on the cutting pieces you've got, really. If you've got good quality cutting pieces, then that'll cut most things. So yeah, you could do. You can. I know that'll engrave aluminium. I'm not sure about other metals.
Wayne Bigfoot's on, and Valerie and Dr. Bob.
Evening, Wayne. Evening, Valerie. Evening, Dr. Bob. How are you all? Hope you're well.
And Mole Valley said he's looking at the Auto Master laser engravers.
Right. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of different laser engravers out there. It's just knowing really what you want to do with it, really. My argument is I didn't want to spend. That's working now. I didn't want to spend a fortune on a machine because I didn't know whether I was going to get on with it. The machine that I was looking at, I thought it had good reviews, and then when I dug deeper into it, the reviews weren't that good on it. And then I just happened to be looking on YouTube, as you do, and I found a review for the 3018 Pro. Several other companies make something that's very similar. So, there are other companies out there that make it, but to be honest, the machine's really good for the money you pay for it. It's really, really good, and it's like I say, the one I got came with a 5.5 watt laser, and it's done a lot of work.
Colin said would be a good seller, makers discs, Steve.
Yeah, it would.
Douglas Mungham just said plus 2,500 MW laser.
Yeah, 2,500 milliwatt laser. That's 2.5 watts. Just remember, that's not the output of that's the wattage it draws. Because a lot of people forget that when they see a 2.5 watt laser, they think that's the power of the laser, but 9 times out of 10 it's actually the wattage it draws. So you need to just be aware that perhaps only maybe just over or just under 2 watts of actual laser power.
Dr. Bob said he's just snuck out of the AWGB meeting to join us.
Oh, Dr. Bob, thank you.
Huey said, I've seen him used for brass and aluminium and even copper, but not recommended for steel.
No, not steel. No, it's a bit hard.
IDR Woodturn and said that he's had one arrive yesterday. It took about 3 weeks to get it.
Yeah, they do take. I think mine was about 14 days to get here. But if you go on Amazon, you can get them next day. Obviously, you just pay that little bit more for them, though.
Don said brass and copper would be cool looking discs.
Yeah, they would be, definitely. So this is not going to be a very long live, obviously, because this don't take long to do. But I didn't know whether I was going to get my motor back for the lathe, so that's why I tried to do something a bit different, just in case the motor wasn't back. So as you can see, it doesn't take long to assemble. Just a shame we haven't got those plaques, that plaque done. But the plan is that obviously the difference on these, on your laser, you've got several different settings. You've got what they call fill, which is obviously your shading in of your letters. You can have what they call outline, which is just you'll just see the outline of the line. Sorry, you'll just see the line of the text, and then obviously we've got a cut on the outside. You can use them for shading as well. There's so much stuff you can do. I mean, I didn't realise how much stuff you can do with a laser engraver until I actually had one. It's, you know, the scope is endless. I am looking at getting a stronger laser. So these hearts, it will cut them out, but they've got to be passed 10 times at like 90%, which is not good for the laser running at 90%. But I'm hoping to get a powerful laser so I can perhaps cut them out in 2 or 3 passes. But it's a piece of 3mm ply, so it's quite dense. Apparently MDF is a bit easier to cut, but I don't know. I haven't got any, or not 3mm MDF. I've just ordered some to try, so we'll see what happens. But that is the finish. That's how it should look once it's done.
Right, Hodgepodge said it might be good if that base you were gluing the tree to had a slot for the base of the tree to fit into. That'd be really good if you was doing it for
flat pack.
Flat pack, because you wouldn't have to have, you could literally put it in a very thin box, couldn't you? Probably even, I don't know if that's letterbox size, but
yeah. Well, that's what I was looking at, Robert. What I was looking at was these are just a pro. You know, I mean, I did these. You know, Nick asked me, when did you ask me? Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
So this was just a quick stick it in, cut it out, and play with it. But what I have been looking at doing is, on, as you said, on the end of the on the bottom of the tree, is putting a 9mm or an 8mm or even a 6mm. No, an 8. No, it'd have to be 9mm.
Spit it out.
9mm slot to go through these 3 boards. So then you'll end up with a slot in the bottom here, so they all slide together. Because like Nick said, it would be nice if we could, because obviously that's quite delicate to send in the post. So if we decide to sell these, then we could sell them as a flat pack kit, where obviously the buyer assembles themselves. So you could just slide all those into there, stand them in, and if you wanted to glue it, you could glue it. It would make it stronger anyway, and then people could glue these, because some people glue these just straight onto the trunk, so you could then glue that on there, and then people can glue them where they want them. So,
or we did suggest you could always just use almost like sticky glue dots or something, because some people ain't going to want to
put them together.
Necessarily do glue, are they?
No. But it's just something we're looking at, because it's nice to. Yeah, I mean, what I will do is I'll take a picture of this and put on my Made Me store and see if we get anything. But I'm going to wait and see if I get the when I get the MDF first, and see how, because obviously when this cuts, because it's ply, you end up with a little bit of a fur around the outside, so you have to spend a bit of time going around the outside, just cleaning it all up, where if we can get it to cut on the laser engraver, it would be a perfect finished like these are every single time. So
Colin's just asked, is it all up and running? I'm not quite sure what he means. Does he mean your lathe or does he mean
I don't know, ask him.
the CNC?
I haven't tested my lathe yet. I've put the motor on, I've spun it up, it's working, it's stopping, it's starting, but I haven't tried it as yet under load, but I will get on it tomorrow and have a bit of a bash with it.
I can't see you not having a play with it tonight. Douglas, pretty much the same question. Steve, motor back, and how far have you got rebuilding?
Yeah, motor's back. Yeah, motor's back. And
Wayne Bigfoot said it's good to show other crafts, Steve. I think it is as well. I think.
Yeah, just I mean, it's a shame really, because what I would have liked to have done is gone through the process from start to finish. But what it is on the software I use for the CNC and the laser engraver is on a laptop, so I can't connect that to the machine I use for live streaming because it's got different software on it, and I didn't want to mess around doing it, and so I thought I'd do that quick little video just to explain how you get from getting your stock photograph or picture to getting it ready for the CNC. So hopefully that has helped people on. They're not frightening. Takes a little bit of playing around, a little bit of experience. CNCing is harder than the laser engraver. With the laser engraver, if you want a picture of that, import it, machine will do all the work, it just cuts around the outside, easy as that. But when you've got the CNC, it has to work on G code, so it has to be because obviously you've got with the laser engraver, you don't use your Z-axis up or down unless you're cutting. But with the CNC, you have to use your Z-axis, so every time it makes a pass, it has to go down the set distance for the next pass, and so on and so forth. So there's a little bit more to learn, but once you get to learn it, it's really easy. It's just, practice makes perfect, like everything else.
Malcolm Douglas said, does the laser cut out the shape too?
Yes, you can set the laser to, let me just show you on the video the laser engraver is doing now. So if you look now, the letters or the names are all done with a shading, so that's what they call fill and line. So what that does is it shades in the fill, and then it'll go around the outside to put a sharp edge to the letters. And then what it's doing now, it's now cutting out. So what it's doing 10 passes around every single one at 95% power of the laser. And each time that does one pass, the laser head will move down 0.25 of a millimeter to take up that slack of the area it's just cut. Because on a laser, the cutting point is right at the end of the beam. And if you don't get the beam pinpointed sharp, it won't cut through your piece. So you need to, every time it makes a pass, you need to drop the laser head down to get that perfect pinpoint position every time, because if not, it won't cut through properly. So that's now cutting out. It takes a little bit of time because obviously it's slow because it's thick material, but it will cut through. I've cut up to 3mm ply, 5mm balsa wood, cut through paper. I've done loads of different templates for things, cutting through card and paper. So it's really, with paper you can run it like 90%, 900 millimeters a minute by like 45-50%, and that'll cut through easy as wink without even thinking about it. So it's only because this is cutting as slow, so it will cut. You just need to give it time.
Patrick from Chisky Wood Creation says you could cut a fillet and glue to the front and back of the base.
Yeah, you can do.
Colin was on about your lathe. He went, try it.
Try it.
Wayne Bigfoot said, looking at getting a ooze nest, Steve. So quite interested in other folks' ideas. Hodgepodge said, have you tried using laser engraver to sign the bottom of a turning?
Yeah. Haven't you seen none of mine, Robert? I sign most of my pieces. What's the bench cam? I sign most of my pieces with the laser engraver. Can you see that, Nick?
Yeah.
As you can see there.
Yeah, it's better.
What I've done is I've designed that handcrafted by SK Krafts with my chisel. No knots, because people moan about the knots. And on these ones, obviously, all the ones I've done in 2020 are stamped 2020. And obviously, we'll change it when the year ends. So I normally stamp most of my pieces with that in the bottom. Obviously, my laser, because the laser engraver, you only get 40 millimeters in depth between the bed and the bottom of the laser. So you're limited to what you can get. But any pieces I can get in, I do stick inside the laser engraver to sign.
He said, cool. Danny Boy said, I'm interested in buying 1 or 2 of these. Send me a price of the cut out slot based version when you sort it, please. The trees, you muppet.
Oh, right, okay. Message me, Danny, and then or Daniel, and we'll see what we can do, mate.
Who is disappointed because look, he's got no knot. He said, "Where's the knot? I feel shortchanged."
Sorry, Hugh. Sorry, mate. So I think there isn't really much else we can.
He's not knotted anymore.
I think really there's not. I mean, unless these are going to take ages, because because they're cutting out, they're just going to take forever. They take about 6 minutes to cut out one heart, so I mean,
9:30 they should be finished, shouldn't they?
9:30, yeah, that's way too long. So, but what I'll do, like I said, I will put some pictures up and show on social media once we get them done. Hi Terry, how you doing, sir? Thanks for coming over.
Mr. Terry.
Mr. Terry. So if you've got any more questions, guys, about the CNC, then ask them now. I know there's a lot to learn, but it's easy when you know how. It's just practice, practice, practice. Believe me, you go through a lot of waste pieces of timber, but it's worth it in the long run.
Keep the wife happy.
Yeah, keep the wife happy. So we will be back on. Sorry?
For a change.
Yeah, for a change. So we will be back live on Sunday dinner time.
Whoop, whoop.
With a turning project.
Go on, try the lathe while they're on.
No, not
Go on.
No, not tonight. No, not tonight. No, not tonight, because I've got nothing prepared. So we'll be back 1 o'clock for a live. So hopefully the lathe will be working properly, but that will be the telltale sign. I might give it a little bit of a test tomorrow, but we'll see what happens.
He ain't gonna leave it till tomorrow.
But we'll put it for its paces and see if it's right. If not, I can go back and be rechecked. They couldn't find nothing wrong with it, but what they've done is change the potentiometer meter, the speed control knob, basically. So Douglas, my wife is now in stitches over your comment.
I quickly looked at that. That didn't look like it's a pen.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking.
I just went. Can you laser engrave pens, Stephen?
The trouble you got to remember is when you're laser pens, if it's curved, you're going to get the text is not going to be 100% true. You can buy a piece of kit that connects to your laser engraver that rotates the pen as it's engraving. So yeah, basically what Dave has just said. Yeah, it rolls the pen to engrave, so you get a perfect equal rolling image on the side of your pen.
Bosh, bosh, but that would sting. John S said, "Have tried router, Steve."
Sorry.
Have tried router, Steve. Don't know what I mean.
What is it?
John S.
Oh right, yes. Yeah, you can use it. A lot of the bigger CNCs, you can connect a palm router to them. So that will be my next thing to do. And then when I build a bigger one, I will be using a palm router rather than a 500 watt motor, because a palm router gives you more accurate and they're built better, to be honest. Don't look at me like that. If the new motor will fix the funnel issues. I doubt it very much, Ben. I very doubt it. Nick's dirty minds. Yeah, you're about right there.
Oh, just a quick glance, that was why.
Right then, so we're going to go. Thank you everybody for coming over on Facebook and YouTube. We've streamed on both. We've got a few on Facebook, not many, but we'll do it again. We'll stream on. Yeah, CNC on. Yeah, you can use a palm router on a CNC. If you look at a lot of the bigger CNC machines, they've got palm routers built into them, so they can be used that way as well.
That's me. Handcuffed to his.
Right. So what I'm going to do quickly, I'm just going to play the intro, the promotion video we did for the quiz show again, and if you guys could spread the word for the 13th, that would be absolutely awesome. So other than that, take care. Hang on, we've got another question.
How much is one of those machines?
Right, Terry. For the basic 3018 Pro. With a CNC and laser, I think you're looking about 250, but you can get it with just the CNC for about 100 and I think someone said about 190 quid, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. But just have a look on Facebook, Amazon and eBay and see for the best deals. I mean, the one I got, what I converted into the CNC machine, I think I had that here within 2 or 3 days. So just check him out, mate. So that's right. So I'm just going to play this intro again. So put a date in the diary for the 13th of November, and we're going to try and bring you guys some fun and entertainment. But other than that, thanks for coming over. Me and Nick will see you Sunday. So take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now.
Bye.